Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm back with another Yamato Mecha Collection kit thing, and I figure since these two are basically the same ship, kind of, we do them together. We've got the Deusura 2, aka Special Class 1 Astro Combatant ship. So that's says it right there on the Yamato wiki page, along with the car ad. And the Deusura 2 core ship, which this guy fits inside this guy right there, if you can see it, right there. So I figured, what the heck, we might as well do both of them at the same time. And they're basically, I mean, the box art doesn't show it, but they're supposed to be the same color, so that works itself out. So let's work our way up. We'll start with the core ship. There we go. We've got our, of course, instructions on the inside, paint guide, right over there. And let's see, we got A2, we got the base, greeblies, things like that. That's like the bridge and bridge mount, and fins, all the little fins. A1 looks like the main body and the front kind of cone area with the spikes, classic good old Gamma spikes, and I think it's part of the engine-ish area. No, it's something like that. And oh, there's the engine stuff. The stand arm and engines. Let's get the thrusters and all that. So pretty simple, 3 sprues on that guy. Let's throw that over. And on the main capital ship with A1, looks like we've got the bottom and wings and bridge stuff. I haven't studied this one as much. I think that's the Deusura cannon emitter, fins, things like that. I really wish this one would come in 1/1000, but I doubt that's ever going to happen. I got wings, the base, bridge parts, I guess. I don't know, something like that. And the top and very bottom, I think. Yeah. And missile racks and stuff like that. Oh, that's kind of neat. That's the aft of the core ship, it looks like. And unfortunately, the core ship is molded in there, so it doesn't come with like a little one, or it doesn't detach, which would have been fun. But I mean, for $4, $3 kit, this over expecting, I think. So yeah, like I said, sadly, we'll probably never see this one in 1/1000 scale because it was in like 2 episodes. This one we did, in fact. Here it is right here. This one's unpainted, as you can tell, because of the because you could tell because of the unpainted bridge. But I actually recently have gone and used liquid mask to cover the window blisters. So at some point, I was thinking about doing it with these, but I think it needs to be its own thing. I don't even know if I'll do a video about it, but I should paint it at some point. I did just like Gundam panel line it and stuff like that, and it's dusty as heck, but oh well. Anyway, but they did make this guy 1/1000, and based on, oh, where'd it go? Based on how big it is in here, I guess it's, I don't know, about that size, from thumb to thumb-ish, from what I can tell, kind of. I don't know, it'd still be, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that much bigger. It probably wouldn't be bigger than the Domelays, but like I said, it was in 2 episodes, and it got blowed up, and it's pretty, like the Domelays is just like a big, you know, tube, and it's very flat and doesn't have a lot of detail. This thing's so intricate and has spikes and missiles and stuff like that, and bladey things and all that stuff, so I can imagine the engineering in that guy is a lot more preposterous than the Domelays. It's over there. That's why I keep gesturing. It's up on the shelf up there. Anyway, that and that they keep trucking out. I bet that shows up in the show because they made that 1/1000 scale model kit. How much you want to bet that I mean, it's the same company, but how much do you think the story revolves around model kits that are available or the tooling? And I maintain that's why there's so many Andromedas in 2202, because they're going to make that 1/1000 scale kit, and you can charge $120 for one with lights or $60 for a regular one, but you can keep cranking that out with different decals. But the Deusura 2, you know, that's a very unique ship. And the Domelays, you could just recolor that. They keep recoloring it and putting like a block shield thing in front of it in the show that does nothing and just gets blown up instantly, even though it's supposed to be a big thing. That's not what I'm going off on a tangent already. We're only 5 minutes into this. Who cares? We're talking about this, not this one. We're talking about these guys today. That's what we're doing. And we'll have our little comparison to the old kits. There was never the core ship one, so I do have the second series one. That was his capital ship that we can compare them to. So that's kind of cool. I really wish they'd made an old Mecha Collection kit of the original series version of this ship, just because it was so simple, if that makes any sense. Like, there wasn't a lot of detail, but I don't know, there was something cool about it. Rocket shippy, you know. I mean, I love this, don't get me wrong, but it's so detailed and spiky and all that stuff. And the other one had its spikes too, but it was, I don't know, a lot more simple, if that makes any sense. I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes some of these kits are a little too detailed. I hate to say that, but like the Cosmo Zero, like the 172, even the Mecha Collection one, it's just like, it's too much detail or it's too deep. There's something about it that's like, it's too much for me. I still love it, but there's just sometimes where it's too... does that make any sense? I'm just babbling on. Now it's 7 minutes and we're still going. We're talking about these ships. Anyway, the point being, we got these guys, so I actually did something ahead of time and worked out the paint, I hope. Oh, good. Battery light on the microphone, so we'll get this over with. Anyway, I mixed up a paint that I thought will look pretty good with blue and medium blue and a drop of red. So I used the medium blue, a drop of red, and then regular flat blue is what I originally had in here. And there was some other color that was in here, but it was completely dry. So, but anyway, it kind of made a color that I think will work for this. And like I said, they're supposed to be the same color because it's the same ship, basically. So I figured, you know, get that out of the way. Other details, of course, we got the Bassards and all the red things, rocket launchers, whatever. And then there's kind of a darker blue, which I thought about using this sea gray, but it might be too green or something. I don't know. So we're a ways off from that anyway. And then same on this guy. I'll have to look up more pictures of this big one. But yeah, and then purple for the bridge area. So anyway, let's put it together. Yep. Cool. And now they're all built up. So they're not too big. But here's the old Mecha Collection kit to compare them to. And there's so much good detail on this. You could really, if you wanted to, probably just use a Gundam marker and wipe it off. And you throw a flat coat on it. Or just add a little paint, because it looks pretty good. The plastic color looks good and all that. But definitely going to paint it up for the show here. And probably go back and I'll just hand paint all the details. The darker blue, gray, purple, red, and green or yellow, whichever color I want to do for the intake things, the yellow parts. So yeah, so let's go get these guys painted up. Alright, and I'm back with the ships all painted up. Just airbrushed the blue and then did everything else by hand. They look a little kind of contrasty, but I'm hoping after I do the a future clear coat and then do the wash, and I'll probably do some more clear orange-ish yellow over the Bassard collectors, whatever, to blend them a little more, and probably some smoke over the bridge windows because those are pretty bright, or to me is smoke, but that's where we're at right now. I painted obviously the bodies in the custom color I made, and then I kind of took some of the darker blue I had, which was this, which is basically royal blue, I think is what kind of that's close to. I took the royal blue and mixed it a bit with the was that sea blue for this little cone area, and then the Dessler gun on the big one, and a couple of the other areas, like right back here on the engines, and then used ocean gray for some of the gray areas, so the back of the engine nozzles and in that little space right there. Just flat red for all the little red things. Used, just because I had it, lemon yellow for the yellow, and then clear orange over that for all that stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to blend those better. But I'm also rushing through these just because I am. And then same on this one. I painted the engines pink to make some pop. I think that's what color they were, or were they red? I don't remember. I should probably do some research. Oh well, they kind of look neat. Kind of has a Super Star Destroyer Executor look to it with all those engines back there. It's kind of neat. What else? Need to push the I was gonna paint the cannon separately, and then I was like, well, I'm just gonna hand paint it. So, and I forgot to push it back in. So I'll do that after it's dried. I don't know if that's supposed to be. Whoa. Or I could flick it off the base and blow it up. It's kind of what happened in the show. And speaking of, well, let me finish my thought. I don't know if that's supposed to be darker, but I went ahead and painted that darker anyway, that darker mixed blue. Something I learned that I didn't know, this is kind of a Yamato. Apparently this ship doesn't. No. Let's try this for the, here. You stay. Anyway, something I learned, it's kind of a Yamato 2202 spoiler, but not, I don't know, sort of, if you've seen the original series, you kind of know about this, but, well, it's kind of related to this. Apparently, this doesn't get blown up all the way. The core ship manages to survive, and then it gets made into the core ship of his new ship in Series 2 that looks more like the Gatlantis double, the Gorland double missile ship. It kind of looks like that, but it still has this ship as the core, so apparently this ship survived that being blown up. I didn't know that, so I thought that was kind of a neat little touch. We definitely need that ship. Definitely the new Deusura, I think is what it's called. We definitely need that ship. And also unrelated, going on a tangent again, does anybody know, are the Lascaux, whatever, destroyers that are with him, his ship, those look slightly different, like shape-wise. I know they're blue, but it seems like some of the shaping or detailing is a little different, but I could be wrong. But I'm also going off the Mecha Collection kit, and that's from $21.99, so maybe for $22.02 they updated the model. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, point being, I need to get one of those and paint it in the blue colors, so I'm going to do that eventually. But they do need to make the new Deusura, so hopefully they will do that. They probably won't make it 1/1000 scale, but hopefully we will get a little mecha ship of it, which would be nice. So, like I said, now it's on to the gloss coat. Okay, and I'm back with the ships. They've all been clear coated with Pledge, 2 times more shine, future, the floor polish stuff, and I just literally put it straight from the bottle right into the airbrush, and it's like thinned, or it's at the consistency where it's easily sprayable. That's all I do to it. So And then I just put it on there and it's nice and glossy. So now that kind of looks, they both look very, very shiny. So we're going to take some of this, which is Vallejo light gray, Vallejo light gray wash. Some glare there. And I picked up this. I was gonna try it, and I tried it on an area, but I don't know. It popped out, and that could look cool, but I don't think it's the right look for this. It's the Vallejo blue-gray wash. Let's see if I can find where I tested it. Oh. Well, it dried. When it was wet, it was really obvious, but now that it's dried, it's not as apparent. I don't even know if you can see it. I don't know. I tested on little panels right there. It's okay. It could work, but I'm going to just go with this because I know this works, and then I won't have to go through the whole thing. So we'll start with the big boy here. And since there's just so much stuff, I'm just going to do the whole thing. And actually, I probably should. Let's try. I'm gonna try a little regular gray too. Whoa, we got bases flying all over too. That's for a different program. Try a little of the dark or gray wash, and if so, I might need the dark gray wash just because this one's so. Oh, the light gray's looking okay. Kind of depends on how it dries, though. I would imagine. Because these kind of dry a little lighter than they go when you put them on. And I guess I need to go back and put some more clear over all the little intake, the yellow-orange intake areas. And I'm wondering if maybe the wash will darken the little cockpit windows, bridge windows, but I'm guessing not, so I'll probably go back with the Tamiya Smoke Clear and put it over that just because they're just so, obvious. I'm okay with the engines being like that. I think that looks neat, but cockpit should be a little more subtle, I think. And not the same color as the engines, probably. But that's what I had, so I was like, I'll just use that. So, anyway, still waiting to watch 2202, the rest of it, Chapter 6. Really want to see what happens. I'm very excited. Should be awesome. I want to see what the deal is with the Ginga and other stuff. What's with all the Andromedas? Speaking of Andromedas, I don't know if this is a spoiler. Well, not talking about the show, but just strap yourselves in for the Super Andromeda show that I'll do at some point. I got the kit that has the Mecha collection, the 5 of them, and a couple of the single ones. And apparently if you've seen the DX kit, which is basically the Andromeda, another release of the Andromeda model, but it comes with all of the parts and all of the decals to make all the different versions, basically, except for, I guess, on the new Balgray, which is like the Ganalus version. For some reason, it has like like this piece right here. I got it sitting right here. It broke off, unfortunately. But like this thing, like on the Ganalus Gyperon carriers, it's got like this kind of thing going on. It doesn't include that, but it does include a part to make the refit Andromeda with like the double wave motion, or quadruple wave motion gun, or whatever it is, where it's just like a split in the middle. But they couldn't have included the extra parts you need to make that accurate. They include the decals, which look awesome. They're this like beautiful gold pinstriping, filigree kind of stuff. It looks amazing, but they didn't include the parts, to make it fully accurate to the model. So it's like, why even do it in the first place? But they could have included that if they had to make another sprue. Anyway, why not just put that stuff on there? I don't know. Because then they'd probably have to modify the carrier deck and whatever. So, it's all about money. It's all about money. Anyway, point being, the big decal set that comes with that actually comes with decals for the Mecha Collection kit, waterslide decals, and it looks like it comes with all the like other ones, so I don't know if they're going to release the other ones. Like there's the Andromeda Black, and of course the Andromeda Refit. I assume that has separate decals. Isn't it like Andromeda Kai or something? I don't know. Some kind of thing like that. And then the new Balgray with all its pinstriping and stuff like that. So it comes with that in that set, which is pretty cool. So I thought, well, I'll do the 5 Earth Force Andromedas, and then I'll do the other ones, the Black Andromeda Black and the pirate ones. I don't know. Is that a reference to what's the pirate show that's from the same guy? Captain Harlock. Is that like a reference to that? Because they got like skull and crossbones on them and stuff. So that'd be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. An additional, so that's coming at some point. I have those on order, and they're on the way, but I'm sure that'll be a very long saga to do all those guys. Anyway, another thing I was getting at is the Andromeda. That DX kit also comes with like this cool like book that has all this concept art and all these variants, but there's like this really awesome Gamelus version where it's like it has this style like the Gamelus style. It's like the Andromeda shape, but they did it in the style of the Gamelus. So it's kind of got this, you know, the Bassard kind of thingies and stuff like that, and the shapes of it are, you know, more sharp, rounder and stuff. It's so cool. Sharp rounder? That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like this, how this, you know, it's got the spikes, but then it's also got these light, nice curves and things like that. So it's like, why didn't you make the carrier like that? Because then they'd have to make a new model kit. That's why. I don't know if that's in the show or not. There looked like there was a picture online that looked like it was animated in the style that had these variants that are in the little book, but I don't know if that's just something somebody made or a bonus thing or what the deal is. So it's just spilling all over the place. All right, what do I think? Does that look good? So I just kind of drenched it on there. I don't know if it's dark enough. We'll have to, wow, it's really pooling up. Well, the nice thing is, what is going to happen is I'm going to let all this dry, and since it's been clear coated, it'll protect the paint underneath. Then I'm going to take the Vallejo airbrush thinner and take off all the excess, and hopefully it'll just remain in all the cracks and stuff like that, or all the panel lines. So that's going to be pretty cool, hopefully. Can only hope. This one will be fun to do that with all its... I guess that one's covered in spikes too, but this one, try to avoid the spikes with the cotton bud and all that. Of course, I could do it properly and just, you know, get it into the panel lines, but it sounds like a whole thing. I'll just do it this lazy, drenching way. Hey, it worked for the Domelace 3. Speaking of the Domelace 3, we're going off on another tangent. I guess this is just me talk time while I do this. Did I just break it? I just dropped it. Nope, looks good. Anyway, something I didn't know, and it's like the most irrelevant thing in the universe, but I thought it was kind of interesting, is this is the Deusura 2. This, you know, that's the core ship that goes into this. Oh, Jesus. Very uncoordinated here. It's just hard to do with the camera tripod in front of my face. Anyway, this is the Deusura 2, and I always wondered why it was the Deusura 2, and it turns out that that blue Zelgut class, the one that gets blown up with, I'm assuming everybody knows what I'm talking about also, so you probably have to have watched the show to have any understanding of what's going on. And I apologize for that if you are completely in the dark. But hopefully the end product, you could just skip to the end and check it out, but is worth all this blathering. But anyway, the blue Zelgut Domelace, whatever, the big dreadnought, super astro heavy big ass ship that Dommel has, and then there's the blue one that gets blown up with fake Dessler lookalike in the assassination plot. Apparently that was the Deusura, like, 1, or, you know, Gamelus Force 1. So I was kind of right about that when I said that in the video. That, yeah, I guess. But, I don't know, I found it on their Wikipedia page. I didn't know that makes perfect sense now. But I'm a little slow on those details. I've not researched things like that. But I love that kind of stuff, that little, like, those little tiny detail things like that, all that information. It's not really relevant, but it's just kind of interesting. And that they thought to do something like that, I guess. I don't know. Let's just shut up now. Alright. So that's looking pretty good. I might let it dry and see how it does look, and then I'll come back and for both these guys, and we'll use the thinner. I saw somebody use cleaner and on one thing, and I tried that a while back, and the cleaner like really just ate through. Of course, I don't remember what I had it clear coated in, but it was a little too aggressive, I thought, and so I thought the thinner's just right. But I haven't tried it with the future, so, but I figure probably better safe than sorry. Don't, put the cleaner on there and it just completely vaporizes the entire paint down to the plastic, so that would be fun. No, it's battle damage. Ugh. So, alright, here we go. Let's go, let's let these guys dry. Alright, and I'm back with the final versions of the ships, all dull-coated and washed and cleaned up and all that stuff. Just decided to go ahead and do that. It was going to be easier to do that, not with the camera in my face, but yeah, they turned out okay, I think. They're probably could have cleaned up the weathering wash a bit more, but I think they're not too bad. I like looking at all that cool detail. Like I said, I applied the wash and then I cleaned it off. I actually went back over it again with the dark gray wash, just because the color of the ship is so dark, and that brought out a lot of the detail. It's probably a little over weathered, or over, what's the word, lined, panel line, whatever. Yeah, I guess over weathered, but I think it works good enough for these little guys. So yeah, and then we'll throw in the classic one really quick. Whoop. Or I'll smash the classic one. Guess I could zoom out a bit. Let's get a comparison. And yeah, I think a guy could probably use a redo, fix that vein. And then, since I had that color in there anyway, I was like, what the heck. So I did actually decide to paint the big one, the 1/1000 scale version. And you can see it's still in progress. But it has the future on it and the wash. So I kind of had some issues with not necessarily this ship, but the other one I'm filming at the same time. But I noticed when I was doing the wash, it took up the yellow, which I had used this Vallejo lemon yellow. So I don't know if the future had not been on there long enough. I feel like I gave it a decent amount of time, but with the Dumalays I didn't have any problems whatsoever, so I'm wondering if I need to leave it even longer to make sure it's nice and solid. But also, since this doesn't really affect the Tamiya as much, but it will affect the Vallejo paint that it's intended to affect, so I'm wondering if that's also part of that. So that was one of the reasons I didn't take more of the wash off, because I got all paranoid about taking paint, or the actual paint up. So, but hopefully that won't be too bad. But I haven't had that problem with the other things I've done it with, so I think it just takes more experimenting and things like that. But yeah, I think that guy is pretty cool. If I was a evil space despot with an ego, I would definitely also have I would like to have this spacecraft as well, and hopefully I wouldn't get blown up by old school cannon shells. That would probably put a damper on my regime, I guess, I would imagine. So there they are. I hope you guys enjoyed this television program on the YouTube Reno. Next one, I guess I'll just throw a little teaser in there, will be this guy. And I'm going to film that right after this. I'm not sure when it'll come out. But, oh boy. Yeah. That's pretty much all I got. So stay tuned. Please subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. You can check out the Facebook page, Starchwreck Models and Props. You can check out the Instagram page, which is Starchwreck 1017. 1017 is in the registry of the USS Constellation from the original Star Trek series, because somebody already took Starchwreck. So there's that exciting, relevant piece of information. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good time period until I see you next, and even a good one after that as well, and from before time when it's now goodeth forth forward. Okay? You got all that? Anyway, all right. We'll see you later. Bye.